Motivation requires triggers. I was just talking to a student the other day, and he was telling me how he had wished that he could have gotten into shape just on his own. He started coming to my jiu-jitsu class, my Brazilian jiu-jitsu class, and he said, man, in 3 weeks, he had already lost 6 pounds, and he couldn't realize why. Like, if he is doing 6 pounds every month, he would have gotten to his goal. His goal was 20 pounds. He would have gotten to his goal within 2 months. He said he couldn't believe why he wasn't able to do that on his own. And I simply said to him, I said, you can't do it on your own. Motivation requires triggers. The trigger for him was having a professor, a coach, an instructor in front of him, teaching him, requiring him to do the tasks that he was supposed to be doing before. So I was explaining to him that it's not his fault. Motivation requires triggers. When I need to be triggered to improve on something in my life, for example, when I needed to open my second Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu school, it took a great friend and mentor of mine. And he literally said to me, he said, Professor Erik, if you don't open this school, I'll stop being your friend. I'll stop being your mentor. And I said, what are you talking about? He said, the only decision is right in front of you, and it's the new decision. I never realized what he was talking about until years later when I read this incredible book called Iconoclast. It's by Gregory Burns. It's this amazing book that talks about inside of our brain is programmed. If we're repeating the exact same steps every single day, for example, we're going to the same work, we're going to the same grocery store, we're going to the same house every day, we're doing the same routine, our brain is trained to stay in the same routine and not to grow. It's trained that way. That's to protect us from stress. That's to protect us from depression. That's to protect us from a lot of different things. What happens is, though, as soon as you step out of your comfort zone, you probably have noticed this yourself, as soon as you've gone to a different beach, or you've gone on a different run, or you've gone to a different park, and you come back and you're animated and emotional about it, that's because your brain is triggering you to grow. Okay? And now a lot of you guys will remember a time when you came up with an incredible idea. And you remember that when you came up with the incredible idea, you were on a walk by yourself in a different park, or you were walking your dog somewhere by a beach that you had never been to. And all of a sudden, these incredibly poignant, important ideas come to you. That's because you're being triggered. That's what triggers motivation, is when we do new things, okay? When we have a new experience. So for example, in his case, he had this new experience of being in this jiu-jitsu school with this coach and professor telling him what to do. All of a sudden, his brain was just sparking out these neurons that were making him motivated to come back to class, to do what he was told, to do 3 extra push-ups, to do 4 extra jumping jacks. And so what was really exciting for me was I was able to explain to him, listen, everything in your life, you'll be able to do this. If you want to change careers, you need a trigger. You cannot walk into the office tomorrow, listen to your boss, go to your desk and be on that computer if you'd like to leave that job. What you need to do is you need to take a sick day, and you need to go to a beach that you have never been to, or you need to travel to a city and stay overnight in a place you have never been to. All of a sudden, you're going to see the craziest important ideas come to you for your resume, the craziest important ideas for you on ideas for your next career, the craziest and most important people in your life that have been suggesting which direction to move to. Motivation requires triggers. These triggers are very important, and they can come within these 3 different categories, okay? 1, they can come from you seeing or experiencing something visually, okay? Something visually. You go to a place, for example, and you visually feel and see a different scenery. 2, they can come to you from listening or reading. You can listen to a book, an audio book, or reading a book, or watching a seminar or webinar, or being participate in some sort of seminar situation where you're learning, okay? And learning something new, it has to be something new to you. I can't go to a jiu-jitsu seminar and then all of a sudden I'm going to realize that I should open a 10th school in Cambodia. No, it's going to come to me from going to a seminar on dental work, or something completely out of my scope of comfort zone, okay? Or 3, it can come to you from hiring or having or participating in a coaching or mentorship program. Because the coach or mentor, in this case with my friend who I was telling you, he was losing the 6 pounds, he had been triggered by my enthusiasm for him losing the weight, right? So he hired a coach. He hired somebody to help him through that situation. He was also triggered by his new environment because he was inside of the school with new people. So for him, it was a spillover effect between the coach and also the new visual situation. But yes, from these 3 categories is where you're going to find your trigger, and your trigger is what's going to provide the motivation you've been looking for.